Hey guys, welcome to Allods Online Gameplay Part 2 of Isle of the Damned. You're back with Breaking Boredom and my character Tonguefoot. Still in the same group we had before, so Suppress, Okalani, Strategy, Ryoside, and Brangelina. So far we've covered the first boss, gotten a little bit ways through this Allod, and second part of this video here should be too much more longer. What we're going to do here is we're going to clear one more boss, well, one more mini boss, then we're on to the main one. Now on this Allod, you do have to make sure that you pick up the love letters and the rings and the bouquet of flowers, or you won't be able to summon the main boss, and you will have just spent a whole lot of time doing a whole bunch of nothing. Now, like I said in the video before this, we are having a patch out soon. At that point, I really don't know how much more useful Astral 2 is going to be. So you might be going right from level 51 into maybe A3, depending on what kind of rep gear you get in later zones. As of right now, we don't have too much idea on what exactly it's going to be. Now, this boss here, you can probably see the mushrooms off on the right hand side right now. Once again, it's just one of those bosses where you go in, you clear out the ads, and it's pretty much a tank and spank at that point in time. Once again, not a hard boss, just not really that time consuming. With a good group, you can have it done over pretty simple, pretty quick. Now, that's pretty much the key to running this game, is finding a good group or a good guild or a good party and just running with those people. Now, luckily, I am in an endgame guild, currently number 2 guild on our server, and probably, our server on the Empire side, probably number 3 overall. I'll be honest here right now, the guild ranking pretty much goes Ascendancy, which is an Empire guild on the Nezub server, Mercenaries, which is a League guild on the Nezub server, and then Sacred, which is the guild I'm in, which is at 3rd place on the Nezub server. Yeah, that's pretty much that simple. There are a lot of good other guilds here. It's just, they're not. I'm not going to get into all of that right now. That's all based on GT progression and all that kind of stuff, which with this new patch is kind of old news, old school. These ads here, they really don't cause too much trouble. They're pretty easy to clear out. A lot of the questions I find about this game is, oh, is it really free to play? Can you be what's the word for it? Can you contribute in endgame PvP and all that kind of stuff? And the answer quite easily is yes. Now, like I said, in these types of games, there's two ways you can go about it: time or money, or a combination of both. If you don't have money, invest some time, and you can do just fine. Like I said, I haven't spent a cent. I participate in all endgame content. I'm usually pretty high up on the DPS. I out DPS 47s who have spent money on this game and are higher geared than me. And it comes down to it's time, skill, all that kind of stuff. Even though you can say it's, hitting buttons don't involve much skill, but there's a lot of micromanagement behind it. Now that mob drops down. I think at this point we have one more left. No, I don't see any more. So pretty much we bring down this boss here pretty quick and easy as well. And then we're on to pretty much the main boss at that point in time, with a couple smaller pulls. Now, another good thing about the Allods game here is your Astral ships. Now, I've spent a little bit of time, a little bit of gold upgrading mine. The thing about it is, there's 2 ways to get through. You can teleport, you get chargers, and it costs gold, or you can actually take your ship out, fly through pretty much space. You got to fight demons to get there. Then you land on the Allod, you complete it, and you fly back or fly to another one. I haven't seen that in any other game, and that's a really interesting concept to me. Now, the thing about this too is, if you do find an enemy ship out there while you're out in the Astral, you can actually attack them, kill them, and loot their ship. Now that's pretty cool. I haven't seen that in any other game that I've played, and I've played quite a few. I came into this game either shortly before or shortly after the Geopat patch. Back when I played, we had caps on fatigue. You can only quest for so long. After that, it wouldn't make much sense. We could only play for 4 hours at a time. You need the incense to get your damage buff. Without that, you're pretty much throwing rocks at a rhino. A lot of that has changed now. This game is a lot more friendly to free players than it ever used to be. So, if you're ever wondering about Allods, ever thinking of not giving it a try because, you hear bad things about it, a lot of that's changed. The game is very playable without spending a dime. I have all pretty much the needed cash shop items, and I've never spent a dime. I have a larger bag, which you've seen. I have my second earring slot. I have my mounts, my runes. Probably a couple other things I just can't think of right now. Now, my rotations here are pretty much the same on a group. Violet Infection, Neotoxin, Putrefy, and Corrosive Acid, and just start nailing away at the group with acid Splash from my pet and my Acid Bolt from me. If the party is still, if the mob group is still alive by the time all that's done, just pop another Violet Infection, and they're usually pretty toast by then. You don't have to always have proper groups. You don't have to have like a warrior or a paladin as a tank. You don't have to have an actual healer as a healers. Summoners can do it if they're posted that way. Or, to be quite honest, if you have a group that has high enough DPS, sometimes those roles can just be overlooked almost entirely. You're always going to need someone that's able to heal and someone that's able to take a hit, but you don't need like a dedicated healer or a dedicated tank at all times. It also really depends on the group you're running with. Now here is the last boss of this Allod. Pretty much, like I said, in the earlier video, you had to collect all the things that they drop. You go over to the grave, summon them, and you kill them. Now this boss can sometimes be interesting. The man here you're going to see is not too hard at all. But the female actually just attacks people at random. You can't really hold aggro on her. So if you have some really squishy people in your group or anything like that, they can actually go down pretty quick, and then you're out a good amount of DPS, and that's when things can start get interesting. Now, thankfully, like I said, we're running with a pretty good group here, so that really doesn't happen. So I think the fight's here about to start. Yeah, there we go. So you always got to make sure that you kill Ivan first. Pretty much the standard formation of how you go through this Allod. Some people go different ways, but you always end up here. I don't mind this Allod. There's a couple I really, really don't like. Hakut, I think I have video up of that. I just don't like that one. I wasted so many keys there because it just doesn't drop good gear for my class. Lab 13 is not bad. It's not that it's a bad Allod. It's just that it's long, and if you do wipe or you do anything like that, it's a long walk back. Tennyson Temple used to be the same way, but they've actually shortened it quite a bit, and that was cool. Yeah, see there, my abomination died, and you'll see me. I don't know if I actually bother rezzing it or not. Yeah, you'll see I took some damage. Other people take some damage, just kind of random the way she attacks people. And that can cause a little bit of angst every now and then. Yes, yeah, I brought her back. Doesn't take too long. Yeah, you'll see other people. Brangelina there is taking some damage. Okalani takes some damage. Now on the Acid Summoner, if you see Corrosive Acid increases my damage, and then you'll actually see the stacks there of acid. What they do is, as long as I keep it at 9, my damage is increased 9%, and I believe I get about 3,000 or 4,000 additional damage for every acid attack due to those corrosive acid stacks. I don't know why I can't say acid right tonight. And there, yeah, see, I knew my abomination died once or twice. I just didn't know if it was in the mob fight or during the boss. Like I said, it usually doesn't happen. It's because that boss pulled random aggro and just decided to target my minion. I don't think I pop it again. I could be mistaken. This fight, at this point, the fight's pretty much over. I don't have my ages up either, so I've taken some bigger hits, but I do finally pop it there. Now, this fight actually doesn't take too long. It's pretty good pace. Now, the real aggro meter there, you'll see how I have there is a pretty handy tool. It shows who the mob is aggroing, or who they're aimed at, or who they're coming for. Like I said, that's a really good thing to have. If a healer can't keep aggro on you, just slow down your DPS. And sorry, not a healer or tank. They can't seem to do their job and keep the aggro. Just slow down your DPS a bit, and you'll know that way before it even pops. But that's the end of the video. No point in showing you the loot or anything there. So once again, thank you very much for watching the video here. If you like, please thumbs it up. If you want to get notifications on my videos, feel free to subscribe, and I'll have some more videos up for you shortly. Thanks once again. Bye.